What's happening, fellas? Today we're going to do a little work on the Ford Super Duty here. Make sure we got you guys in the picture. I'll show you what we got going on. I got some replacement taillight lenses from Auto Parts Warehouse, Capa Certfied parts. Made by a company called Depot, I believe it is, replacement parts. And go ahead and open the box here. So we got a passenger side. And a driver's side. So there we go. Those two goodies right there. These are Capa certified parts. I made sure specifically to order these. Usually aftermarket parts like this fit no matter what, but I wanted the Capa certified ones just because that's what I like. And basically we're replacing these because on my original factory lenses, this little area right here where the screw threads in to hold it on broke on both sides. I was doing some body work with a slide hammer, adjusting my tailgate cups on the bottom where it hinges, and these actually broke, so I glued them back, and I've been running them for a while, but it's time to upgrade them. So we've got these units here from our friends at Auto Parts Warehouse, and we'll go ahead and run these out here and get them on. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is probably a 1.5 job. It's easy. So let me get you guys set up and we'll get going. Alright, so let's get started. We'll talk a little bit about the tools you're going to need to do this job for the Ford Super Duty. Sorry for the extreme close-up, but basically it's got a fastener here. And here, those are 7mm, so I've just got a 1/4-inch drive ratchet with a 7 on it. And you're going to need that, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we'll know better when we get the old units off. I believe you need a screwdriver of some sort, and maybe a nylon pry tool. We'll see. I think these have broken back loose because that screw came right out super easy. Now I know I didn't over tighten them when I reassembled. So basically, after those two screws are out, those screws go, let's see if I can get a shot of that. They go in that hole and that hole down there. And then you have these push retainers here and up at the top. And those are located in the bedside. There's actually a pocket that they snap into. Sometimes these come right out, other times you really have to fight them. So we'll see here. You don't want to pry it this way, you want to try and pry it straight out that way, so getting your fingers under the bottom and kind of holding against the top helps. And there we go. There's not a whole lot to it, but I'll show you my problem here. Basically these lights twist out, 1/4 turn counterclockwise. So actually a pretty simple ordeal there. Here's why I'm replacing them, and you can see it broke again. But that white all over there is a plastic repair adhesive filler that I use in body work. And it held for a long time, but this actually cracked right here. And I don't know if that one's any good either, but these are factory taillights. So these come with a little paper over the holes, probably to keep debris in them in processing, keep debris out of them, excuse me. So basically put your light bulbs back in, 1/4 turn to lock them down. Make sure I'm getting this properly here before I try forcing something. There we go. That one fought me a little bit. I didn't put it in right. Okay. Let's see which connector is where. Just apply some firm pressure. So you want to make sure that those silver pins go into these retainers in the truck. If those are broken, you may have to go to your dealer and buy new. But usually they hold up pretty good over time. And they clip in like that. And then we'll go ahead and put the factory screws back in. I'm going to start them by hand first. And we'll put the nut driver or ratchet, whichever you prefer. Now the first time in, they're going to thread kind of tight because these are a thread cutting screw, self-tapping type. You can see that right there. And those holes have never been used before, so they're going to be snug. Don't over tighten them, you will break that tab. Just want it snug in there so that they're not rattling around. Now what I do is I did the top one and got 85% of the way in there first. And then we'll go ahead and do the bottom one. I don't want to snug it all the way down and then have a misalignment issue. I actually have it in there too far. So the bottom one's tight, and now the top one is tight. Now I choke up on the ratchet and hold it real close so that you don't get a lot of leverage by grabbing the bottom. So that's basically what's entailed with doing that. We'll go ahead and turn the lights on and do a little comparison there. So we've got the new light here. It's got my smudgy fingerprints on it. The other one's a little dirty, but definitely not as nice a looking unit as the new ones. These are all scuffed up, so we'll go ahead and get the other one done, and we'll bring you back here in a minute. This is a pretty straightforward process, so shouldn't take long. Alright guys, I nearly forgot to mention this, but I just sort of thought about it as I was in the process. It's a good time to check to make sure all your lights work since you have them apart. I've got the parking brake set in the truck, and it's an automatic transmission, so I put the ignition to the run position and to press the brake and put it in reverse to make sure our backup lights work. Now both elements of this light work, and we're still working on this other one. We'll go ahead and finish it up over here with you guys. So those are flashing. We'll get this installed. I've checked all the bulbs. They are working, both elements. Okay, those are in, and then align these pins up. That's what I heard snap. This was part of the old light itself. And I'll bring you for a close-up on this one to show you how those go in there. So you have that silver tab, and you have that black plastic pin. The black plastic pin goes in that hole. Silver tab goes in the one with the little plastic grommet in it. Clip retainer, whichever you'd like to call that. Now I had to pretty good feeling that because these were a Capa Certified part, that they're a certified crash part, they should fit just like OEM. Even the other aftermarket companies, when it comes to lights, they usually fit pretty doggone good. Sometimes not completely perfect. If you're only replacing one, it may not look exactly the same. I like to replace them in pairs, so that's just a little tip for you. But I think these look really nice. I suppose you could upgrade to an LED style tail light if you like that kind. I like the factory light look myself. I'm not a real big fan of the LED lights, except for around trailers and things like that. So you'll be able to see here in a minute that in less than 10 minutes we will have changed these lights. Another thing to keep in mind is say you bought these new replacement lights in the wintertime and they came via some sort of shipping company, whether it's FedEx, UPS, Postal Service, whoever. In the wintertime, they might be really cold. You'd probably want to let these warm up to room temperature. Take them in your house, keep them in your house overnight if you're going to do this job outside. For the simple fact, if that plastic's cold, it will be brittle. And you saw me tap on it to seat those pins. It's not certain that you'll break it, but it's a better chance that you will. And the same thing, threading those bolts in, you could break that. So just something to keep in mind. So there you go. I tell you what, the backup light lens in that is much nicer than the factory tail light was, because it was just worn out. So those look really sharp. And that's it, guys. So if you need some parts like this, I definitely recommend it. These were not expensive. These are from Auto Parts Warehouse, and I'll put the link down in the description. And hope you enjoyed this one. Quick and easy. You can do it yourself.